If I'm so good at Yu-Gi-Oh, why do I keep falling short when it matters the most? I think it's because I keep doing something that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players still do. I make a mistake. And then I say, oh, I misplayed. That's it, I misplayed. But that doesn't actually tell me anything. Because the question we're trying to answer is not whether I misplayed. It's why I made the decision or that decision in the first place. And at Nationals this year, I threw away my chance at my very first Nationals top. And looking back, I knew I was in the wrong. I was in a really strong position to win. My opponent activates something that's going to remove something from my board, so I responded. But I immediately get punished by the one of talents when I had zero reason to play into that card. My first reaction, dude, did I seriously just throw away this game? Like, this was beyond unlosable. And that's what I'm trying to get to. Why? I knew I was ahead. I had playable for next turn. If I would have stopped for 10 seconds, what does this actually get my opponent? The answer would have been nothing. It did nothing for him. So why did I respond? And I think we do this a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh! Our opponent activates a card and, oh, we have a response, activate. But having a response doesn't mean you actually have to use it in that moment. Is what your opponent doing actually a threat? For me, it wasn't. I took something that wasn't threatening me at all, and it gave my opponent a chance to get back into the game. That's a judgment call. I made the wrong one. Then it gets worse. I knew I messed up. Now I'm tilted. I'm beyond tilted at this point. And I take that into my game too. Mind you, this is the fight for top 32. I make another mistake. The match, it's over. My top 32 gone. And I'm pissed. I'm so mad. I could touch that top at that point. I could smell it. I could see the judges putting on the paper with my name right there. Minimum top 32. Minimum. And I threw it away. But looking back, the important part was what happened afterward. One bad decision became frustration. And because of that frustration, it affected my next decision. One mistake became two mistakes. Mistakes compound, especially in long tournaments. But hey, Oscar, it was just top 32. You still have a chance for top 64. Game 1. Next match, I play fast. I play into a card I already saw in my opponent's hand. They snowball card advantage, I lose. Game 2, I get sacked. Variant hits. Nothing I can do. And this is where it all clicks. You're gonna lose games of Yu-Gi-Oh! That you have absolutely no control over. Variance hits. But because of that, you have to win those games that you can control. If I don't throw away game 1 in top 32, then getting sacked in game 2, I don't care. It happens. I'm not eliminated. I have a game 3. I get another opportunity. Instead, I lost the game that I did have control over. Then, Yu-Gi-Oh! Took the whole thing out of my hands afterwards. Tournament is done. So just saying, oh, I misplayed, that's not good enough for me anymore. Look at why I made those mistakes is what I'm striving for. One happened because I reacted without ever needing to. Another happened because I let the previous mistake affect me. Another happened because I played too fast. Those are all misplays, but they're not the same problem. And if the problem is different, the solution has to be different. If I don't know a matchup, I have to learn that matchup. If I don't understand my deck, bro, I gotta put the reps in. If I'm playing too quickly, slow down. I need to stop misplaying. It doesn't say anything. I need to get better Okay, at what? And I know this because the reason I was misplaying at last year's Nationals was completely different than this year. Last year, I picked up a deck in like a week and I just grinded DB to learn it as fast as possible. And when weird situations came up, I just wasn't comfortable. I didn't have enough reps with the deck. And that's fine. I didn't make day 2 last year. This year though, I had the same problem. I only had like about a week to prepare, but I had already did the work. I played a deck that was really comfortable and I had been playing for the greater part of this year. I made day 2 and I was in strong contention for top 32. I go down to top 64 and that's fine. I can still make it. But that's not what ended up happening, because the mistakes that stopped me this time were not, I don't know what I'm doing. It wasn't an issue of feeling comfortable with a deck. It was a lack of consistency. And that's a completely different problem. And what's crazy is that this year, I know I've gotten so much better at Yu-Gi-Oh! But the results just haven't come yet. The reason I'm losing has changed. And how do I know that? Because I have shown that I can do it before. Earlier, in the same tournament for this year's Nationals, I went to the VIP room twice. I faced off against pro players multiple times, and I have beaten them. Now, the thing here is, oh, Oscar, you beat pro players? Wow, you're so good. No one cares. But what we should look at is how I played those matches. Okay, because that is the recipe for success. I played very calm. I took my time. I needed to think. I was thinking. I needed those extra 10 seconds to see 5 steps ahead of my opponent. I took those 10 seconds. That's how I was able to win. And I did that consistently through game 1, game 2. Maybe I think I had to go to game 3 once with them. I did it consistently. I never panicked. I was calm. I was focused. And I knew my plan. I knew my win condition to win those matches. So the problem isn't whether I'm good enough or not. It's, am I being consistent enough in repeating the criteria needed for success? So you could be someone that consistently goes X2 at a regional. Maybe you've bubbled at a YCS. You were this close to getting a day 2. Don't ask yourself, am I good enough? Ask, why did I lose those matches? And don't accept, oh, I misplayed. That doesn't do anything. If somebody could pause your game while you're playing and ask you, hey, why did you do that? Why did you use Ash Blossom there? When you're breaking the board, why did you choose to lead with this card instead of that card? And if you can't answer any of those questions, then I think you found the area that you need to work on. Because maybe you don't need a massive breakthrough. Maybe you don't need to grind DB and to get into like 1100 rating. Maybe you're already good enough, but you're missing something. There could be, you need to work on making a certain type of decision in the game. And remember, one decision can be the difference between topping a regional, getting top 32 at nationals, in my case, making that top cut sheet. For me, I think I found mine. I need to stop reacting and start taking the extra time to think. Should I respond? Should I not respond? I'm going to ask myself one question. If I do nothing right now, will I lose? And if the answer is no, then maybe I don't need to do anything.